name is Susan Howard, and I'm with the Tomball Community Library, and this is part of our Community Conversations videos. And today we're going to talk with representatives from TEAM. We're talking with Carolyn Boyd and Karen Guiles. And so just to start us off, what is the history of TEAM and what does TEAM stand for?
Well, TEAM stands for the Tomball Emergency Assistance Ministries. We have been around for 35 years. It was started back in the 80s by a group of people from different churches who saw a need in the community for food, and primarily for food. And so eventually 13 churches banded together to form TEAM. And so we've been around now for 35 plus years, and we currently have about 22 churches who we call supporting churches. And that means that they give us a monthly stipend every month. We don't set that dollar amount, the church does. Mm-hmm. And then they have a board representative on our TEAM board. And we also have a few churches who are what we call supporting churches, who are not partnering with us financially or have a board rep, but they still help us in various ways.
Okay. And what services do you provide for the community of Tomball?
Well, I always share with people that we're kind of a three-pronged entity. First of all, we have a resale shop, which provides the financial base for all of our expenses. Mm-hmm. Without the resale shop, we'd be hurting and trying to handle all the operating expenses. We only have 5 people on staff. The rest are volunteers. So you can see it's an enormous operation with limited staffing, actual paid staff. Mm-hmm. Then besides the resale shop, we have an assistance ministry and a food pantry. The assistance ministry, we have caseworkers, all volunteers, who work with clients on rent, utilities, food, financial aid in the way of medical and dental, help, eyeglasses, prescriptions. And I think I'm forgetting one thing, Carolyn. If you think of it, throw it out there. But anyway, that's the assistance ministry side. And then the food pantry, we are one of 6 of the largest food pantries in the Houston area. Wow. So we receive food, we buy food through the Houston Food Bank, and then the community also provides food. So you give me $100 and we can buy $1,000 worth of food through the Houston Food Bank. And then the third prong is what we call the Tomball Benevolence Network. Mm-hmm. And that is a network of businesses who provide specific skills to our clients who have a need. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest ones is auto repair. We have car repair shops who will do pro bono work for us, for our clients. Oh, nice. And then we pay for whatever the expense is, the part. Mm-hmm. So we don't redo an engine, but we can fix the brakes or do other things like that.
Okay. And are there any other programs that you have going on through TEAM?
I'll talk a little bit about the Hand Up Ministry and what we do. We're fairly new. We're kind of the youngest child in the family. We help people in the greater Tomball area find employment or training. And like everything else, it's for people who are in need or not being able to find a job in any other means. And we help them by giving them suggestions about, for example, in the area, there are ongoing job assistance programs like the Between Jobs Ministry or Workforce Solutions, and we point them in that direction. We let them know if there's a job fair opening up in the greater area. We give them one-on-one counseling. We used to do it in person. Now we do it online. After we look at their resume, talk to them a little bit about what their skills and their education and their past work history is. We give them some suggestions of places they might apply. And some of these are places that we know they're in our internal database. And then there are also places that they might just not have thought about looking, places that may have a sign up, but they haven't seen the sign. Mm-hmm. In addition, we give them some helpful hints on how to write a resume, conduct an interview, all those sorts of things. And then when they do find a job, we're still available to them to talk them through problems they might be having on their job, particularly if it's some sort of interpersonal problem that they're not getting along with someone. Then we act as mentors to help them retain their jobs and kind of learn how to be, as one of our volunteers says, a blessing and not a curse to your place of employment. So we're in the long run interested in getting people who have not been in the job market or have not been in the job market for a long time into jobs that are convenient to them, that pay a living wage, and that they can learn from and hopefully advance to better jobs and get to be a full-time member of the working community. So that's what the Hand Up Ministry does.
Okay. Are there other organizations that y'all work with in the Tomball area?
Oh, yes. We partner with a lot of people. Lone Star College, the hospitals, the auto repair shops, BJ Services is another one. Just a whole myriad of businesses and organizations, Lions Club, Rotary, the professional women's group out here. I think I said Lone Star. We partner with the schools. Our fingers are just kind of outreaching in the community. We could not survive without all of these partnerships because they provide their expertise, they provide financial support, they provide volunteers. Without volunteers, we would totally crumble. So we rely on our community in so many ways. It's an exciting ministry, actually. We also have on Tuesdays, right now we are only able to help clients on Tuesdays due to limited volunteers that we have, but they come anywhere between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And we have what we call tables and tacos. And a couple of the churches have, they meet with the clients outside. Of course, no one comes into team right now, and we can go into that in a minute, but they meet with the clients outdoors. They serve them coffee, water, tacos, breakfast tacos. And that's because clients will come quite often an hour ahead of time, so they can be first in line, and we just use that hour to minister to these clients. So a pastor may pray with them if they would like, or they'll just talk with them, or they'll encourage them, or just have conversation, let them know that we really do care. So that's been a unique piece of our ministry as well. We're always looking for ways to expand and just keep the love of Christ moving in our ministry, because we are Christian based and we consider Christ at the very center of it. During COVID, it's been a little bit of a challenge because we have the majority of our volunteers are of the older generation. And so we have to be very careful with them and kind of protect them in a sense.
Definitely.
So in our assistance ministry, we had to go to a strictly outdoor sign-up process. No client comes into team. Our caseworkers work inside team, and they do it by phone with the client. So if a client comes today, which is Tuesday, they will sign up outside, They'll
Mhm.
indicate whether they want food or financial assistance or both. And then they go back and wait in their car, and a
Mhm.
caseworker will call them on their cell phone. And then they proceed from there. So it's kind of a whole different process in a sense, and that we're not getting to do the face-to-face time with the clients and have had to go to this other strategy. So it's, it is what it is. On the food, when the clients indicate they need food, we have volunteers in the food pantry who actually come in on a different day and pre-sack a lot of the staples so that they're ready to go on Tuesday. And then when the client comes, then they add the things like produce or the meat, things like that aren't, they have to be refrigerated. And so then the client comes to the back door of team through the alley and they pick up their groceries from the back door. So that's how it's delivered.
And when the volunteer is talking to the client, and the volunteer will ask him or her, are you looking for employment? And if they say they are, then the volunteer will give the client the email address that they then begin to get in touch with their job assistance volunteers, who we give a lot of encouragement, we give a lot of information. Again, like Karen said, we're not talking to people face to face, and truly that is a little bit of a impediment to building a relationship, but I think it still can be done over over email or the phone, where we're encouraging them and talking to them about what they need and what we can offer.
And team, I should have shared this earlier at the very beginning, but team takes care of people who live in the Tomball zip codes or the Tomball ISD school district, which is pretty wide, even goes all the way out to the edge of the Woodlands. But that's who we are able to financially help. We will give food one time to anyone who comes who is out of our area, and then we share with them where they need to go for future help. So we're primarily Tomball community and outlying areas that fit those descriptions.
Okay. And I personally do shop at the resale shop. Has COVID affected the hours of the shop and the requirements to come in and things like that?
Yes, it has. We had to shorten the hours because we have limited volunteers who are able to be there. So the shop is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And everyone must wear a mask, both shoppers and those working inside. Again, it's to protect each other. If we end up with COVID striking any of our volunteers, it could shut the whole operation down for a couple of
gosh, definitely.
But we don't want that to happen. Our donation center has been open and then has had to close. And I'm not 100% sure just when it will reopen. Partly that is, again, due to staffing issues. And also we have to quarantine donations that come in for 5 to 7 days. So we have several storage pods that these donations go into, and then when the time lapses, we can take them out and process them. So once those storage units are full, we're stuck. And it slows the whole process down. And people, bless their hearts, they'll call and say, well, I'll hang on to my stuff until you can take it, which is a blessing for us too. But, COVID has just thrown curves into everything, and we just keep adjusting. We just adjust sometimes on a daily basis, whatever it is.
We have found that too through the library system, different things that we have to adjust to, and working from home and working in a branch and different things like that. So I just love that our community comes together at a time like this and figures out a way to make things happen. And even though, like us personally at Lone Star Community Library, we're not able to go to our branch right now, we are helping at other branches. And as soon as we get word, then we'll get the word out that we're open again. Once we do open and things like that, is there anything the library can offer? Because we do have lots of databases and things that can help people find employment and help improve their skills on different computer programs, and just writing a resume, improving language skills. So is there anything in particular that we can help set up once we can go back into our branch?
Well, you just listed all of, or at least some of the great resources that you have. So, and we tell people about this, and if money is available, if they're a first generation college student, or they have other situations that allow them to access, finances and loans and things like that. And the community college is a great place for people to go who might be intimidated by thinking, well, I can't go to a university, or I can't physically find a university because it's far away. That's a wonderful place in the community. And there are training programs that are not university track. They're programs on how to do everything from floriculture to beauticians to all sorts of skills. And I think if we've learned anything during COVID, it may be that the skills that people have and they share with us in the community in all sorts of non-university staff jobs are really important. I mean, to get your hair cut or to get a plumber has been really something that's trying, and those jobs sometimes go a-wanting. So we try to encourage people to look for places where they can be trained for those.
Okay. Well, once we have word, you'll hear us shouting from rooftops, probably. Is there anything else you want to share with us today?
Well, all I can say is that team is blessed by so many people, and we hope that we're a blessing to many ourselves. We love Tomball. Tomball is like a family out here. Everyone sticks together. And even when team had to cancel its fundraiser at the last minute in March because of this dear COVID, we still raised about $77,000 through what we called a no-show gala. And people, just by sending out emails and calling at that, they still rose to the challenge of helping us. And for me, that just says a lot right there about Tomball and how we work together. The chamber is such a great asset to us. They have helped us in so many ways. Bruce Hillegeist, who's the chamber president, we call him Mr. Tomball.
We do call him Mr. Tomball.
He knows everyone, and he is just so right there. And we just love this community. So I'm grateful that that's where team is located. And for me, it's been exciting, and it's been a blessing to work alongside people like Carolyn and many other volunteers who are part of team.
And this is a good time, when we do open back up, for people who have not been volunteers to consider coming in and talking to the people on the resale side or the ministry side about different things that you can do. And there are volunteer positions that you can literally do from home. There are volunteer positions that you can do sort of on a random basis. So there are all sorts of possibilities. It's got so much to make us think that we should want to be volunteers, not only for what we do for the community, but what we do for ourselves as well. So people should be thinking about, how can I volunteer now or in the future? And
we always need bilingual volunteers. Our Hispanic population is about 60% in the assistance ministry, and we only have a few volunteers who speak Spanish. So that can be a challenge. And even in the resale side, we would love to have more Spanish speaking people to help our customers.
Mm-hmm.
So volunteerism is crucial for us.
It is. Sorry, trying to keep my cat out of the video.
Send him to us. We'll put him to work.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us in our community conversation, and